everybody. Now, before we go any further, just let me apologise for the audio quality in the last video. It was fine when I recorded it, but when it came out, it wasn't. Don't know why, but there you go. Next thing is, I need to point out, I am not affiliated to any metal detecting manufacturer or any retail outlet. I don't receive any promotional goods at all. No nice bags of goodies coming through the post or anything like that. All the views expressed in this video are mine and mine alone. The other thing is, as in the last video, it's aimed at people who are wanting to go into metal detecting, not the seasoned campaigners out there, because you pretty much know what you're doing anyway. And it will just hopefully maybe give you a pointer or two in the right direction and maybe some useful information. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go downstairs into my workshop, because that's where I keep all my stuff and things. So I'll see you downstairs shortly. Okie dokie. Greetings everybody. We are now downstairs in my workshop. So let's make a start, shall we? First of all, we'll talk about digging implements. First of all, this is what I use when I've dug my plug out. I bought this from a company in Sheffield called Spear & Jackson. Now other companies are available, I know, but I couldn't find one of these anywhere else. I searched everywhere, couldn't find exactly what I was looking for till I found this. It's made out of stainless steel. It's extremely strong. It's got a nice serrated edge down one side, little hooky thing there with a blade inside, very good for grubbing through roots in woods, that kind of thing. It's quite sharp on that edge and reasonably sharp on that edge, but not too sharp so it doesn't damage anything that you might find. Now you'll see various digging tools and knives on the internet, and some of them cost 20, even £30. That was £5 plus a bit of postage and packaging. Now I would much rather pay £5 than £30. I don't know about you, but there you go. So that's the little digging implement. For digging the larger holes, I use this. Don't mind telling you where I bought it from. I've had it for quite a few years now. Bought it from a company called Joan Allen's. It was about £15, which I think is a good price. It's reasonably light, but very, very strong. It's very well made. I don't know whether you've actually seen it, but on the programme on the television, the Detectorist, one of the chaps on there uses a spade like this. Although, to be honest with you, it doesn't look as though he's ever used it. Don't know whether you watch that programme, keep your eye open for it. But this has served me well over the years. But once again, on the internet, some digging shovels or spades, they're 30, 40 and £50. I can't see the point in paying that much when you don't have to. The blade is slightly curved, so it digs really nice, round, neat plugs. Nice piece of kit, glad I bought it. So that's the little digging implements out of the way. Now they're obviously both essential things. You've got to have things to dig with. Another essential thing is this, a pinpoint probe. This one is made by White's. It's a White's Bullseye Mark II pinpoint probe. Other makes are available, vary in price. This one was £60. Now I know they're not cheap, but that's what they cost for a decent one. This one isn't fully submersible, but I don't need one that is fully submersible. You can pay up to about £120 for a fully submersible pinpoint probe, but this one does the job marvellously. I use it in the mode with the audible beep, which is that. Sounds like that when you actually find something with it. It's also got a very bright LED light on the front, which is very, very helpful when you're digging in the woods and it's a bit dark. Comes in very, very handy. As I say, I've had this for quite a few years now. It served me very well. So it's one battery. You can also adjust it inside to go to a vibration mode, but personally speaking, I just like the audible beep. Just personal preference, that's all. But a good pinpoint probe, I think, is essential. Okay, right, that's that. Something else, I know it might sound obvious, but a good pair of gloves. These are made of neoprene. I bought them from Aldi some years ago. They were only £5, and I wish I'd bought 3 pairs, but like you do, you didn't think about it at the time, so I didn't buy 3 pairs. I just bought 1 pair, and now I can't find any more. But they are very good. As I said, they're neoprene, they're cut proof, they are lined, so they're quite warm. But I've also got a thinner pair inside that are 100% waterproof. So all in all, nice piece of kit, will stop you getting cut. So that's them out of the way. Now let's go on to something else that's not particularly essential, but most people do use them, and that's headphones. Now, some metal detectors that you buy don't have a volume control. Don't know why, but there you go. My friend has a Garrett Euroace, and that doesn't have a volume control, so he sometimes struggles a little bit because he hasn't got headphones that have got a volume control on them. So if you're going to get a metal detector, check whether it's got volume control or not, and if it hasn't, you will need a pair of these that have got a volume control built into them. I've had these for a long time now, can't remember how much they cost. The thing is, after some years of using them, I don't know about you, there must be some of you out there that think the same as me. I just get fed up with all this lot. I mean, I've even shortened this as much as I can, but even then, when I've got them on, the wire, it still gets tangled up everywhere. It's round my head, it's tangled round the metal detector, it's all, and I just got sick of it. So what I did, I was actually watching one of Deep Digger Dan's videos, and he was looking at a pair of wireless headphones. So I did some reading up, looked at quite a few videos and advertisements, and I eventually bought these. They are sold by a company called Detectors. I think they are part of a company called Detector Bits. They're actually designed in America but made in China. Surprise, surprise. They come in a nice little carry case. Take them out of the case. In the case there is all the various bits and pieces that you need to connect up to them and charge them up. These are the headphones themselves. They aren't Bluetooth, they are a wireless radio transmitter and radio receiver technology type thing. Bluetooth ones are okay, but in my opinion the Bluetooth ones aren't as good as the radio transmitter and receiver. These have got a volume control on and various other little buttons that you can press and play with, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't be without these, because rather than have all this business, I would rather just have that. I'll quickly show you the radio transmitter, which is here on the shaft of the metal detector. Nice tiny little compact thing, plugs into the headphone jack just there. I've fastened it on with a little bit of mastic, so it'll come off quite easily if I want it to. They cost about £89. I know it's not cheap, but I don't think it's that expensive for what they are. They take about an hour to charge up, and I've been out in the field 6 or 7 hours with them in one stint, and they haven't packed up. So I personally think they're very good. The response time is excellent. It's about 0.06 of a second, which is very fast. So that's those out of the way. You don't have to have them, but for me personally, I think they're absolutely marvellous. Right, so that's those. Now, let's move on to what you would wear around your waist. Belts, pouches, holsters, that kind of thing. Now, for a long time, I used to wear all this business. It's a good sturdy belt. I got it from an army surplus shop. Good strong buckle. The bag I bought from Garrett, I think that were about £15. It's a good bag, nothing wrong with it. Nice little zip pouch inside for putting all your interesting little finds in, all the gold and silver that you're going to find, or not. And it is good, there's no two ways about it. I also bought this. It's like a pouch that you might see somebody wearing on a building site. Cost about £10, I think. Very strong, good piece of kit. You can get all your stuff in it, Pinpoint Probe, digging tools, whatever. You can use that as a nice finds pouch. It's okay, it's fine. I can't remember where I bought it from. It might have been from somewhere like All Tools. Other shops are available. But the thing is, I hate belts. I can't stand the things. They're either too tight, too loose, they're slipping down, you've got to get them on all over your clothing, and when you've got them on, you're forever pulling your stuff round, getting it in the right position, over the buckle, then something else, pulling it round that way, so I'd had enough of it. So, I invested in that. A metal detecting vest. It's supplied or sold by a company called Detectors, or www.detectors.co.uk. It cost about £47, but don't quote me on that. And I think it's marvellous, because rather than have all this business and everything else that goes on it, all I have to do now is put that on. It's got pockets for everything. I can get pinpoint probe in, I can get my glasses in it, I can get little marker flags, magnifying glass, all sorts of pockets everywhere. I've put a little pouch on the front myself, and my little digging knife goes in it lovely. It's got a good strong zip, a YKK zip. It's got pockets on the inside that you can put maps in, letters, permissions, that kind of thing. It's got a big pocket on the back that you can put anything in it really. I just put a couple of spare carry bags in just in case I need them. It's expandable at the sides and expandable on both shoulders with Velcro, so if you've got a lot of warm clothing on, or you may be a larger person, it'll still fit. I think that's marvellous. Wouldn't be without it. You don't have to have one, but if you're anything like me with the belt business, it's an option. You can buy them cheaper. Some of them are a lot more expensive, usually because they've got a nice name on of a metal detecting company, something like that. So anyway, that's that out of the way. There are other little things that you might like to think about taking with you as well. Something as simple as a good pocket knife. I've used this for all sorts while I've been out metal detecting, just odd little jobs that needed doing, that kind of thing. Comes in very handy. Something else that I wouldn't be without is this. I bought this little pouch thing from the pound shop. I believe you're supposed to put a camera in it. Mine, I've got inside it a little first aid kit, because on the odd occasion when I haven't had my gloves on, I've cut myself on little slivers of glass and steel that's been in the hole. A few plasters in it, a few headache tablets, and some hand sanitizer for when you go and have your lunch, just in case you've been grubbing about in the dirt and the cow muck and the horse muck. Hopefully get rid of the germs and all the little nasties that live in that kind of stuff. So that's that. I will show you this as well while we're on the subject of accessories, and it's a book. It's by a chap called John Clark. Never met him, don't know him. I've read quite a few books on metal detecting, but I like this one because it's quite comprehensive. Excuse me. It's basically called Metal Detecting, an Essential Guide to Detecting Inland, on Beaches and Underwater. It's not a massive book, but it's quite comprehensive, and it's got some nice pictures in it showing you the various bits and pieces that he's found, how to search fields properly if you want to go into that kind of thing, gridding them off and all that business. I don't myself. I haven't got time for any of that nonsense. I'm not saying it's nonsense, but I just choose not to do it. Right, so they're the basic accessories that you do need and some that you don't need. Entirely up to you to make your own mind up what you want. Right, now I said I'd talk a little bit about detectors. Where do you start? I can't go into them all because there's too many. I mean, where do you start? Garrett, Deus, Nocta, Whites, Minelab, Seascope, Bounty Hunter. That's just a few of them. Sorry if I've missed any out. Sorry if I've missed out the one that you own. There's so many. You've got to do your own research, look at the prices, see what you can afford comfortably without going into debt, hopefully, and make your own mind up. What are you going to use it for? Where are you going to use it? That's basically what you've got to think about. Another thing that you've got to think about when you're buying a detector and all this equipment, are you going to stick at it? I do know people that have paid an awful lot of money for detectors and accessories. They've been at it for 2 months, they've had enough. They don't like it. Don't know why. Might be too cold, too wet, too damp. Don't know. They've just decided it's not for them. And they've ended up with 1,000 or even more, thousands and thousands of pounds worth of detector and equipment that they've got to try and then sell on. And you're not going to get anywhere near the price that you paid for it. Let's be realistic. So just something to think about that. Now, what I will say about the various detectors available, don't buy a detector that you're not going to use it to its full potential. There's no point paying £800 or £900 for a detector that's fully submersible when you're not going to use it as a fully submersible machine. You're just wasting your money. Go for something a bit cheaper that's not fully submersible, that's still got all the features. Now, some of you out there are probably thinking to yourself, well, I'm sure some of you are anyway, what detector does Robbie use? Well, I'll tell you, it's not a cheap machine and it's not a really expensive machine. At the moment, I'm using this, which is a Bounty Hunter Land Ranger Pro. They retail round about £300, right? And at the moment they are Bounty Hunter's top of the range model. The reason I went for this particular machine is I wanted a machine that had as many features packed into it as possible for a reasonable price. So as I said, it cost about £300, and for £300 you get a very sturdy machine. It's got the 11-inch double D coil, very strong shaft, nice cam lock, comfortable handle. It's quite light and I can use this all day, not a problem. And I'm not a massive big strong bloke, I'm just a normal sized bloke. The features that are packed into this machine are things like volume control, good discrimination, good sensitivity. It's got the pinpoint mode, the manual and auto ground balancing or ground grab. It's got a large LCD display. It's got a battery level indicator. It's got an overload warning, audible warning for big lumps of iron under the ground that obviously you can't see. The overload doesn't hurt the machine, it just tells you that it is a very big lump of metal. It's got V-brake, it's got notch width, and it's got 7 operating modes. It's got all metal, coin mode, jewellery mode, artifact mode, and then it's also got discovery modes 2, 3 and 4, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Thank you very much. That's why I use this machine. It's got all that packed into it. Now, all those features packed into a machine, you would expect to pay £700–800, and you can do quite easily for the same features. Why pay all that money when you can get something like this for £300? I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that you go out and buy one. Like I said, you've got to make your own mind up what's best for you. There are plenty of videos out there, plenty of machines that they've put on field tests to see how they compare against other machines. In fact, this has had quite a few field tests done, and they've put it up against things like the Garrett AT, the Garrett Euroace, and it comes out very favourably. Don't take my word for it, watch the videos on YouTube. Right, so as I say, before we go any further, a few people have asked me why I wear camouflage. Well, I'll tell you. When I go out metal detecting, I don't just go out metal detecting, I go out for the whole experience. I go out for the countryside, the fresh air, the wildlife, the trees, the birds, the flowers, the plants, everything. And while I'm out there, usually, when I'm sat having my lunch, I secrete myself in a nice little wooded area or in a hedgerow, and I like to take photographs of the wildlife. If a fox comes running past, a hare, a buzzard comes down or something like that, I like to photograph them. This stuff just gives me the edge. I don't go shooting or fishing or anything like that. I just like going metal detecting, but while I'm out there, I like to enjoy the whole experience. It's all part of being out there. It's marvellous. Right, that just about concludes it for this particular video, and hopefully the next video that I make, we will be out detecting. I can't go out at the moment because everywhere around here where I live it is frozen solid, and I mean solid, so it's out of the question at the moment. But when I do get a chance, we'll go out, do some metal detecting together, and hopefully we'll find some nice things. So at that, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I will catch you all later. Goodbye.